hit the arm, but I'm okay. Just helped up. The only problem is you got them kids in the garage. Right on. Okay. I don't know if it is. Alright, there we go. Ready. I don't think we need it. Surgery. He's going in there. You gotta take the bear cap. Get some lights on. Lights on. Get him up in. I'm fine. Yep. Chad, is there anybody in the garage yet? No. All ambulance right now. Your ambulance is on the way. We got 2 officers still inside.
I was laughing because someone thought when he said lights on, what did he call them? Pies on. It did sound like lights on, pies on.
I'm fine. Fire. I don't need it. I'm hit right here in the forearm. I don't need it. I can still use my hand. I'm okay. I'm get the train here.
Where's he shooting from?
No.
Alright, so you get the teeth, bring her over my shoulder. Ready to get the right side through?
Can we get him in the Bearcat? Can we get him in the Bearcat? Transport. Somebody watching that door.
Who is this? I need you to go to that garage door. Go on inside. Light that house up with that bear cap.
We got the window open. Yeah. What do you have? We got 2 hits? We need light on the house. Light on the house. That window on the right side. Light that up.
Okay.
Light that up.
You still have the kids inside though, correct?
Yeah, kids are all the time. Okay. You guys can see up the kids.
What's in the back? Who's lighting that up? We are in such a bad spot right here.
I think we gotta maintain this until they move, right?
You guys maintain the back side.
Alright, Adam? I'm fine.
Hey, I need to get a rookie out of here.
Adam, I'm taking your spot. You're hit?
Yes. Yes.
Get out of here. I got this. Raise your ankle.
Alright. You've got shoulder in the back there, too.
Yeah. Yes, every type of guy.
Make entry in this house now.
There's no hole here. No hole?
No hole.
I'm good. He is laying down in the hallway waiting for us to go inside.
Look to somebody else.
All right, I'm good. Are you good?
Hey, are you going?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Waiting in the hallway. Stop. Anyone else hit besides him? Rugi's hit.
He's waiting in the hallway, you said?
Not piercing. Play the chest.
Well, you don't know we're right here, so it's only going to expose herself.
I don't think so.
You
watching that service store, Matt?
I believe it's told we have 3 officers shot.
Where's the evac gonna be, guys? We don't want the rig going right up.
Got right away, Kurt, but I don't think it's
Your right leg?
yeah. Shelter. I don't think it's good.
Can you grab bangs or anything else? I'm trying to figure out what else we can do in this moment, right? So rifle shield. Rifle shield, is that in 21?
Yeah.
Okay, so we grab rifle shield, bang. I guess it's smoke here. Well, we can grab it. Okay?
126 that way?
Get Adam out of here. He needs to leave. Where's an ambulance?
I think someone get a shield with it. Where's the ambulance? Are you okay?
I think so. I think so. I don't think I got it. I'm gonna go get it. Dan, you're gonna go with them, okay?
Because we gotta watch if he goes out that back patio.
I don't think it'll be right here.
Where's the ambulance?
Right now. Yep, go. Get an arrow out.
We gotta believe they still have that 3-4 corner, but we can't be 100% certain. So we need to watch our stakes are go up by that tree.
Where's Chief? Cody, Adam.
Jesus, let's right out for it.
Where is he at?
Guys, we got to the country. Now we're just screwed there. You want bang? I can go get it now.
Yes. You're getting shot through the window. I don't know where he's shooting from. Throw a smoke.
You need these guys out of here. Okay, you got to get them out of here now? Yes. Okay, go this way. You can't see it from this way. Yep. Go to the north.
How bad? I get hit in the back. I don't know if it's...
Yep. Get the bang, smoke, burn, you can grab it for right.
Watch our 6 behind us. Did you see where those shots came from? No.
Where, Rudy?
Where you shot, Rudy?
Did the best catch it? Feels like no, you're almost dead.
Get up in the turret back. Cover long.
Top, should be top 4.
Sheet the seats and shot them upwards. They might get sucked in by the jet intake or they might hit it and get killed. So they designed the ejection seats to fire downwards out the bottom of the fuselage. You see a picture of that right here, the ejection like capsules or more so hatches. And whenever they'd eject, it'd shoot them out the bottom. So what was a little bit unfortunate about this, but also kind of funny about this, is that Soviet aircraft had a very common tendency to short circuit, and that also included the ejection seat system. So every once in a while, when a Tu-22 would be on and running, they would be sitting in there doing their pre-flight checks or taxiing to the runway or just flying around, and there could be a short circuit and a guy could just get shot out of the bottom of this thing at full speed, even on the ground. And of course, as y'all can know, getting shot out at multiple G's downwards out of the cockpit into a concrete pad below is probably going to be a fatal experience and a one-time experience. And that would end up happening from time to time to some of the Tu-22 crew. Absolutely stupid design. And honestly, though, that's just the beginning of the iceberg with the Tu-22s, like the original ones. These things also had the tendency, because of extreme turbine vibrations, to literally disintegrate in flight. And when I say disintegrate, I don't even kid about that. They literally just rip apart into a whole bunch of tiny pieces in flight from the vibrations from the engines if they were run at a certain throttle input for any longer than a couple of seconds. Also, the air conditioner in this bomber ran off of vodka. I'm not even kidding. So usually a lot of the crew would siphon the vodka out of the air conditioning system into buckets, and they would just fly around with the air conditioner off boiling in this thing while they're flying. And when they land, they take the vodka home, because the vodka was basically a secondary currency in the Soviet Union, and they used the vodka as money to bribe government officials in anywhere to do anything for them. So getting put on the Tu-22 was a very dangerous job, because you could end up getting killed by the ejection seat, the jet engine, the vibrations, and everything else. But it was a gravy train, basically, in the Soviet Union, because you could just get endless vodka out of the AC units.
That's crazy. I have no idea how do you use vodka in an AC system. Like, that doesn't even work as a good coolant. So I don't know what it's doing in there.
I forgot how they explained the AC system and how it worked. Maybe they have it on the Wikipedia somewhere.
It's not like Freon. I mean, you can't use vodka as Freon.
Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can find, like, they have to have mentioned. Oh, here we are. Air for the crew was provided by a bleed air system on the engine compressors. This air was hot and had to be cooled before being pumped in the cockpit, and the cooling was provided by a large total loss evaporator running on a mixture of 40% ethanol and 60% distilled water, effectively vodka.
That's not really vodka. I don't know. I disagree with that little parentheses they added right there. That's not vodka. That's ethanol mixed with some water. That's totally different.
Oh boy, that's that Chang vodka alcohol right there. That's basically vodka. Especially mixed with ethanol, 40% ethanol. I mean, you siphon that out of the tank. That's basically vodka.
I don't know, man. I'm no expert on vodka, but it seems like there's a little bit more goes into making vodka than just simply mixing up some ethanol and some water.
Well, man, I mean, I can tell you, man, there is a many, and I mean, like this is an exaggeration. There are many written documentations from former Tu-22 pilots that they would siphon the stuff out of the AC, and it was basically vodka, and they go around bribing people with it. I mean, that was like, that's also why it is known as the booze cruiser, or the booze carrier, is for that reason. I mean, and you got to remember, man, the Soviet Union isn't known for high-end stuff. I mean, a mixture of 40% ethanol and distilled water may as well just be vodka for most of an average Russian. And as long as it gets them blasted, that's all that matters.
Probably more like rot gut, really, or something. Like, who knows what's in that ethanol? It's probably not very, human-like. It's probably not very human.
The design is very human.
It's probably not. It's probably got some bad stuff in it, I'd imagine, since it's being used in the machine. So, I don't know. I doubt they'd make it a human grade.
I don't think they. Well, man, here's the question, though, man. With the Russians abusing their livers from a very young age, do you really think it would matter to their livers if it was not human grade drinking ethanol? No, they're drinking it
probably
anyways.
Not. They can handle anything. Those livers are built different.
Man, and those livers are built different because they've already been destroyed in their early age. They can take a great deal of abuse. They're used to it at this point. But man, this aircraft is one of the stupidest ones. But there's a million of them like that from the Soviet Union. It's just that this one was probably the worst out of all of them and had the most defects and flaws. But every single aircraft the Soviets ever made had a whole bunch of known defects and flaws. A fun one, not to rabbit hole too long on the Soviet aircraft, but a great one was on the MiG-15. If you activated the fuel pump the wrong way on a MiG-15, this thing would literally explode like a bomb on the runway. It would kill the pilot, it would completely destroy the aircraft. So you had to follow a literal specific process to activate the fuel pump on a MiG-15, because if you didn't, the thing would damn well blow up, literally.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know the thing, liverwurst, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Russia got that liver that's the worst.
Man, got the dad jokes out here.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I literally choked myself up writing that one right there. I literally came up with that on the spot. Someone's gonna be like, "Oh, of course you did. It sucks." I don't give a damn. It works. But man, I'll tell you what, that's horrible. I think liverwurst is German, isn't it?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I think so. What even is liverwurst? I actually looked that up. What the hell that even is?
It's like a sausage. Yeah, it's a sausage.
Sausage, but what's in it? Liver. It's actually liver in it. It's a kind of sausage made from liver. It's eaten throughout Europe and Germany.
Breaking news, folks! The liver sausage is made of liver. Can you believe? Can you believe it? Oh my God! It's made of liver. It's called the liverwurst, man.
It's like a spreadable, man. It's nasty. Maybe it's what they call it liverwurst because nobody liked it. It was the worst, so they call it liverwurst.
I think wurst is like a German word for like a sausage or something. You have like the bratwurst, the liverwurst, the currywurst. Like that's a new one I think these days. But You know, I think it's pull that up, man. What's worst? W-R-S-T, W-U-R-S-T. What is that German for?
Let's see here. It's a sausage.
So it's literally just a liver sausage.
Yeah, basically, that's exactly what it means.
Man, yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't be eating nothing made of liver. I tell you.
It says it's made from pig's or calf's liver, including fast spices, ground black pepper, marjoram, allspice, thyme, ground mustard seed, and nut. What the hell?
They got that nut in it.
Man, what the hell is this? I don't know what's up with this, man. I'm not touching this stuff with a 10-foot pole. This sounds nasty as hell.
You go to Germany, you see some creepy German guy. Oh, would you like to eat this liverwurst sandwich? I put a special ingredient in my nut. You'll be like, hey.
What does that even mean? It's like, what does that mean? It's like there's no descriptor on it or anything. It's just like it's just the word nut. It's like what the. It's like, you know, like, what are we talking about here? What the hell is this?
Are we talking about, like, not like a nut from a tree, or what are you talking about something else? I mean, like
walnut, you know, like, what are we talking about here?
Man, eat up. It's special liverwurst I made with a special recipe. That's like, oh, yo, it's like, no, we ain't eating that shit. Hell no. Man, I tell you,
man, I'm not gonna lie, that's the nastiest food I've ever heard of, though. Like, in all seriousness, that's a nasty food right there. The Germans were eating bad.
I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, you know, there's worse, like black pudding. I mean, that's pretty bad. Blood sauce.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Any type of sausage with anything unusual or exotic in it, I don't like it.
You know, the French have a tendency of eating the snails.
Yeah, I don't really do any of that.
And the frogs, too. They like the frogs.
Yeah, it's not good. People should give that kind of stuff up. That was back when things were really rough. They were doing that. It's like, that's not really like a delicacy. That's just something you did because it was rough times. You don't really need to like call that a delicacy.
Man, I like, you know, I one time, folks, I watched that Anthony Bourdain show, and he was like, I went to Venice to eat a French delicacy. It was like donkey testicles in a stew, and I was like, I don't really think that's a delicacy, say. Like, it's like, when I think of delicacy, I think it's something that's actually made out of good ingredients. The last thing that comes to my mind is donkey nuts, you know?
He said, I'm going to go ahead and break it to you. There is no happy ending. It's like, damn, bro. It's like, jeez, man.
Man, honestly, man, like, with the context, that's pretty messed up, but, like, yeah, I gotta say,
man, he was kind of like, I don't know, that, I think he suffered from depression. I think, obviously, he suffered from something like that. Yeah, so I think that's why he was saying that. He was like, kind of like a strange fellow. He was kind of a little bit, like, kind of dark with what he was saying, but also kind of, like, slightly inspirational, maybe, at certain times. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say his show was really interesting. Like, I've watched a few episodes of it. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. But, you know, it's like, at the same time, though, it's like, you know, making depression your a core element of your life is like, oh, I don't know if that's good. Like, that's not really a healthy thing to do.
I think you have a choice. I don't think it's the way it works. I don't think it's an option.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, making that, like, your whole moniker, like, nothing gets better. You know, it's like, oh, well, you know, it's like, at least, you know, try and put on a little bit of a smile. You know, it's like, you know, we've gone through tough times. I always put on a smile, at least the best I can.
That's different. That's, well, if depression's not like feeling momentarily depressed, it's like, yeah, I think he might have had clinical depression. You know, it's like something that's like a condition. It's like, you know, you have like chemicals in the brain, like dopamine and stuff like that. Some people have a chemical imbalance where they're like clinically depressed, like medically depressed. It's more than just simply a feeling. It's like it's a medical condition.
I thought when you said the guy was depressed, I thought you meant like just like depression, like you kind of go through it like a little ebb and flow, not like a clinical thing. Like,
that's like situational depression. That's like just somebody going through a rough period of their life or something like that. It's a lot different.
Well, beyond that, that's rough. Like, that's really rough. I think Robin Williams had that too, if I'm not mistaken. Like clinical depression.
Could have, like, you know, possibly. That clinical depression's bad. Like, you know, like some people just don't understand it because, you know, they've never experienced it or they've never seen anybody that has it, like in real life. But it can be a real doozy. Like, some of those people are in foul shape.
That's interesting. I see some people in the chat saying I have like lifelong depression, like clinical depression. It's very interesting because generally I usually have a positive disposition. But I will get very unhappy or very sad sometimes over some things because, you know, a lot in life is distressing or saddening or and all that. But it's never permanent, though. I eventually get over it and get back to, you know, having a somewhat positive disposition. It's very interesting to know that some people have a very opposite sort of thing where they basically go through life and it's almost always depression. I have to say, because I feel pretty well, because of being in a low moment is very tough. And being in a low moment all the time, that has to be extremely tough. That's a pretty significant battle and a challenge to have to deal with on every day. But with that,
you know what a lot of people don't understand though is like just simply being stationary can cause it complicated like even further. Like I think they've done studies out there. You know, there's medications for people that have like, you know, different psychological disorders, like, you know, major depressive people, like people with anxiety disorder and stuff like that. They'll put them on SSRIs and other type of like serotonin, like uptake inhibitors or whatever they're called. I don't know the exact name for them, but they're SSRIs. They'll put them and prescribe people to those. But I think they've done studies out there that if you simply like sleep on a normal schedule and get a normal 8 hours sleep every single day, you exercise and get outside in the sun like on a normal basis, on a daily basis, that can work as well, if not better, than those SSRI medications most times. But the problem is, though, if you're depressed, it's kind of hard to simply get up and get out. Like, that's the problem. But if you can get over that barrier, though, like, it's usually better to go the non-medication route, at least from what I've heard.
Interesting. I didn't know any of that stuff. That's news to me. So, big thanks to you for sharing that to me and the whole audience of the folks out there watching right now. Also, someone said, you never made a oxtail soup? No. Well, no, I don't think I'm really that interested in that, to be entirely honest. I think I saw like a video of it at one point. I was like, I don't know. Some people say it's really good, but I don't know, the look of it just kind of, you know, kind of attracts me from drawing, you know. But anyways, with that, we are on to the next one.
And our next one here goes to none other than Chef Danny B. And thank you very much, Chef Danny, for that $27 support. We do appreciate it very much. It's good to see you once again. He said, good evening, enforcers. Chef Danny here. And I took the week off at the restaurant, finally using all the unused PTO and been doubling down on kid stuff, business stuff, and also another thing in the works, LLT LSA.
Oh, that's really good to hear. It's nice to know that you're spending some time with your kids. It's always important to spend time with your kids because, you know, one day they're going to grow up and they're going to move on, and the kind of imprint you leave on them in these formative years are either going to be looked at positively or negatively. And so it's a very important thing to make sure you spend some time with the family. And also got to say a big thanks to you for support and being here with us tonight. And I hope that all those ventures are going well. The business ventures and also the other things in the works, which sound very interesting. They're very mysterious but interesting. So a big thanks to you for support. I hope that it's addressed that well. And also, once again, great to have you here tonight. And with that, we're on the next one.
And our next one here goes to Jack Attack, who puts in a 20. And thank you very much, Jack, for that $20 support as well. He said, my question is about oil. Do you think that Iran targets Gulf infrastructure? And do they want to raise oil prices? And if so, how else can they? And the strait has been closed and oil is still below 80.
7 children. Nothing could be more honorable.
Let's see. Do they want to... Unfortunately, I don't really think I'm understanding the question here, Matthew. Are you understanding the question?
Let's see here. Do you think Iran targets Gulf infrastructure? Do they want to raise the oil prices? If so, how else can they? Okay, so he's asking here, do you think that it benefits Iran for them to jack up the Strait of Hormuz, jack up the oil infrastructure in the Gulf states, that way that jacks up the oil price globally? I don't think that helps them. I don't think that helps Iran because Iran can actually sell their oil if the U.S. blockade's in place. They have a hard time getting it out. And then if the U.S. takes the step that they probably should by eliminating the capability to export Iranian oil from the terminals on Karg Island, that takes that out altogether. So it wouldn't matter what the price is for oil. Iran couldn't physically move it out of their country to sell it at that point. So really it wouldn't benefit them, at least in my opinion.
I would say, if I'm understanding the question correctly, I would say that it would benefit them because the whole point of the blockade on the Hormuz is to jack up the oil prices and slow down global economic activity, pushing the United States to force the United States to try and meet Iran at their demands rather than ours. If that's the way I'm understanding the question, I would believe that's how I would answer it. Which it sounds like the total polar opposite, I think, of how Matthew understood that or answered it. But outside of that, that's generally what I would say. That's really their only recourse, is militarily they cannot win against the United States of America. It's a losing battle. But they can conduct a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz and cause significant economic damage by rising oil prices, and that might be able to get the United States to come to heel again a second time around. And that's why, and every single time we talk about the war plans, it's always important for the U.S. to break that blockade, because if we break the blockade, Iran has lost any ability to harm us in any real way. They have no military way to do it, they have no economic way to do it, so then they're completely lost, and they're basically at our whim and will at that point as to what we're going to be doing with the Islamic regime. So I hope that does address that the best I can, and big thanks to your support, Jack Attack, and helping this channel to keep on running. I hope that does answer the question well. And with that, we're on the next one.
And our next one here is going to go to none other than Mr. Glock, who's there. And thank you very much, Mr. Glock, for that second support of the night. We do appreciate that. He said, we have to give the Kurds the tools and give them their homeland and whatever the win in Iran.
You know, honestly, I wish the Kurds could just get their own territory, like where it's not a semi-autonomous region where it's just their own little country. Because if they did, the Middle East would be a lot better off for them. And so far we've seen that nobody's been willing to ever do that for them, including the United States. But I would say that it'd just be a wise option to make. They would have to have sea access, though, somehow, so they'd have to have a treaty with someone somewhere to have access to a port to be able to trade properly and effectively. But I would agree with you. I think they should be given their own independent country at some point, because they would be a steadfast U.S. ally, because they're aligned with the United States. It have been for an incredibly long time, and not only that, it would greatly decrease the amount of conflict that we see in the Middle East in that regard. So big thanks to you once again. I hope that does address that well. And with that, we're on the next one.
And our next one goes to none other than Jay Bagwell. And thank you, Jay, for the $20 support. We do appreciate that. And it's good to see you once again in the chat. He said, you guys need to visit the Land Cruiser Museum in SOC. And also the 7-Year War was actually World War I. Changed my mind. Also, we go by, like when I take the Front Runner downtown, like occasionally, the Land Cruiser Museum is right there, right next to the train tracks from the Front Runner. And I see it every time. Well, I want to go see that because I'm fascinated by car history and stuff like that. And the Land Cruiser Museum is pretty cool. This looks like a UK parking garage, like in a shed. Like it has that UK kind of like parking garage feel to it. I would like to see those right here. These are pretty cool. I like those old Land Cruisers. They're crazy expensive. I think they're like hundreds of thousands of dollars these days, but they're very cool, at least to see them in the museum at least.
They are really cool, and we've passed by this many a times in the Front Runner. This is actually the track right here on the right, closest to it, that passes by it. So we've seen this many a times with the train. And you can also see the long line of... Actually,
there's the Front Runner.
Yeah, there's the Front Runner. This is actually that service yard right next to the UTA building.
Oh yeah, it sure is right there, actually.
Yeah, so like the Front Runner's right there. It's right there. Beyond that, though, I would love to go to the Land Cruiser Heritage Museum. We just got to find the time, and we got to find the place to be able to go, which would be there, and then it's really just the time. Beyond that, though, Jay, you brought up a good point there. You said, changed my mind that the 7 Years' War was not just the First World War. And honestly, you know, like I can't change your mind because I really agree with that heavily. It's just that people would never see it that way. Because a lot of people go, oh, well, you know, a world war has to involve multiple wars being fought on different fronts around the world, and this and that and that. And a lot of people actually don't realize that the 7 Years' War, which we call here in America the French and Indian War, is quite literally just that. It is Britain and France, and generally all of their allies as well, fighting on multiple fronts around the world. They fought in Europe, they fought in the Americas. I believe they even fought around India as well, if I'm not mistaken, in between the colonies out there, the East India Company, and all of the other colonial holdings that the European powers had, and elsewhere. I mean, I would say honestly, I can't really change your mind because, in my opinion, I also do see that as the First World War as well. And the First World War is really the Second World War, and the Second World War is really the third. Because we're using the definition that's defined the First and Second World Wars. The 7 Years' War is quite literally the First World War that ever was fought. It's just that people don't look at it that way because, you know, they were fighting in line battles with nice, I would say, well-appointed uniforms in a much different time in the world. And it was also a lot more difficult to even fight on all of those different fronts. But I think that's the reason why a lot of people don't think of it that way. But in historical circles, a lot of people actually argue that that really is the first global or world war that ever was fought. So I actually can't change your mind on that one. That is really the case. But a huge thanks to you for supporting of the channel to keep running, and also throwing in a very good historical point right there. I like that one. And with that, we're on the next one.
If you had to pick between a vintage Land Cruiser that Toyota makes or a vintage Land Rover, which one would you pick?
The vintage Land Rover, at least to me.
Let's see it real quick.
Let me see here. Let me pull the cool one. And this one's pretty cool. I would pick this.
Okay, now show me a picture of a vintage Toyota Land Cruiser.
Vintage Land Cruiser. Alright, hold up, let me get the right one. Well, oh no, they're both really cool looking. I mean, that one's really cool.
I would have to go with the Toyota Land Cruiser, I think. Like, I just like this one better right here. I like the Toyota Land Cruiser. I actually like all the generations of Land Cruiser for the most part. I think they made an ugly one, like, in between, like, the year models. I think they made an ugly one. But the newer ones look pretty cool. The old ones look cool. Like, I like those.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to have to change my vote. I actually think I like this thing better than the vintage Land Rover. Not that the Land Rover is bad. It actually looks really cool. I honestly have to say these are both S-tier designs, and I think they're really neat. But this thing is really cool looking. Like, I really do like the Toyota Land Cruiser. Something about it is just really, really neat. Like, this screams an Australian Outback. This screams like English countryside. But they're both very cool in their own way.
Now pull up a picture of a modern Land
The
Rover
internal
Defender and
workings.
a modern Toyota Land Cruiser. Tell me which one of those you'd pick.
And then Toyota Land Cruiser. That one. As pictures as I can of these before we get them up, and then before I decide. So
Yeah, I do too. I like kind of
You're
the
gonna have to help me
classic
out with which
rustic
one's
look
that.
with the
is
upgraded features.
this the new Land Rover Defender? This one right here.
No, that's definitely not it. It's that robotic looking thing. Yeah, that's kind of it right there. I think that's like a slightly modified one. The wheels aren't stock on that one, but that's generally the design. That's the new Defender right there. That's the longer version of the Defender. I forgot the actual model name for it, but that's the new Land Cruiser. Honestly, like harsh take, that new Defender is hideous. Like that looks like some like modern garbage or something. I just don't like this right here. Also, they're crazy expensive too. I think they're like 70 or 80 grand or something like that. Those Land Cruisers are pretty cool though. I like the way those look. Those new Toyota Land Cruisers. Those are pretty neat.
I would have to say I would pick the Land Cruiser for sure over this thing. This thing looks like corporate slop, honestly. Like this thing is like corporate slop outdoor vehicle, generic design, that 1,900. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't like it. It looks like junk. It definitely did nothing like the original. Like that looks cool right there. But that's like an older one. Yeah, that's an older model right there. That's a different variant. That's definitely not the new one.
Man, I like how people hate the new design so much they just go back and get like the older ones and just like upgrade them a whole lot. You know, it's like that's interesting to me because like I'll be honest with y'all folks, car designs in the recent times, like it's not like they're just like changing the design and it's a good design but it's different. A lot of them are just becoming downright hideous and uninspired. Like they look terrible. And I look at them and I'm like, geez, man, these all are awful.
Well, they started appealing to a whole new audience. Now a bunch of like, rich people buy Land Rovers and Range Rovers and stuff. They look like they're, ultra wealthy. They used to be more utilitarian oriented. Like if you had one of these, like for example, if you watch Clarkson's Farm, he has an older, I think it's like a 2007, 2008 Land Rover he uses around the farm, and he uses it like a farm vehicle. That's what they used to be used for. Like they used to be more utilitarian. Now it's more of like a status symbol. Which is not anything that Land Rover was about when they first started. It wasn't about that at all. So they lost their way as a company.
Yeah, I would agree. It's really sad these days with a lot of companies like that. But with that, we are on to the next one.
And our next super chat goes to Mr. Glock, who's there once again. He puts in another 20. And thank you, Mr. Glock, for that support. We do appreciate that once more. He said, if most Russians live in Moscow, if all 400 nightly drones were sent to Moscow, how many days would it take to cause Putin to be ousted? Would it be 5, 10, or 15?
I would say that probably wouldn't be the reason why they would be, why Putin would be ousted. But if I had to give a number for that, I would say maybe a few months. Like it would actually be a bit of a longer period because generally the Muscovites are quite touchy compared to the rest of the population, but it'd still take a good bit longer, at least in my opinion. But big thanks to you for support, and help this channel to keep it running. And with that, we're on the next one.
We also have a 20 from Truckin' Chef, and thank you Truckin' as well for that 20. He said, I'm not a commie. I just want the best for our country and how it works, the USA, and why not help our allies?
Why not? I agree with you, Truckin' Chef. I agree with you. You're not a commie. A lot of people say that these days to delegitimize discussions. They go, oh, you damn commie, or they call you a damn fascist. And it's like, it's like a lot of people use those terms so much these days. All these kind of really lost like its merit. Like, someone might say something, and then someone goes, oh, you're a damn commie or a fascist. I think you can literally look at a communist and a fascist, and you're thrown in the same camp with them, and they're like extreme ideas. It's like, how the hell are like people using so nonchalantly these days? Like, these words have meaning to them, But I would agree with you. I think it is important that we help out our allies. I think that's an important thing to do. It always comes back to help us. It increases our trade relations, and it protects the ones that we have. And so humongous thanks to you for the support. I hope that has addressed that well. With that, we're on the next one.
And our next one here is going to go to Truckin' Chef yet again. Thank you, Truckin', for this.
Hello, good morning.
He said one more thing. He said, chat to everybody else.
Yeah, I can answer that really quick, sure. So I would say that was 2012, 2013, and 2014. Yeah, if you go back, you'll see it's all documented. They were blasting out a lot of Facebook posts and in other areas of social media. There was pictures, and some of those pictures are in the Dropbox for you that they were posting on Facebook. Okay, and there's one of a guy with a baseball cap and a hoodie, and he has the dog pinned up against the wall in a chokehold. It looks pretty violent. It's like it's pinned up against the wall with one hand, and he's pulling his fist back with the other like he's getting ready to punch the dog. And that picture was posted and blasted out on Facebook and many other sites, 2012, 2013, 2014. Now, mind you, there was so much going on with other things. 2012 was when we told those sick fucks they weren't going to get away with some of the shit they were doing and feeding out the child and animal abuse. Right, so think of when they blasted out those videos and pictures. So people that would respond to it, clicking, oh my god, this bastard, hope they get him, that motherfucker, da da da, right, whatever it is. So boom, they have an audience base there of people that get angry if they see animal abuse and this and that. Now they also built huge audiences with the Greta Thunberg shit, right? So they know right where to go and who to get going with those things because they're all steamed up about those things. You understand? Right, so we tried bringing warning to that 2012 to 2013. And just keep in mind, we were dealing with a lot ourselves. We had just had foot surgery.
How do you miss the part?
Yeah, dog's leg blew up. We lost use of an arm for 3 months. That sick motherfucker who's been abusing and torturing our children beat up his own little boy in the tub. Thank goodness we caught him when we did, huh? We went to go grocery shopping, and for some reason we forgot something. Yeah, we were on our way, and we turned around at the end of the road. 8 Rod Road there, or Middle Road, over by the hospital. Yeah, and so we turned around, and when we went upstairs, we could hear thrashing around in the bathroom tub. Heard Isaac yelp. I said, hey, knocked on the door. What's going on in there? None of my business. I know, I don't mean to be a nosy Karen. Excuse me. Right, he told me it was none of my business. Got water in his ears. He was whining. He's not going to raise a sissy boy. Right, so, and just the other abuses. Like from the little things, like literally, tripping little kids and thinking it's funny, like toddlers, and laughing when they smash their face and it busts open bleeding, and then punishing them for whining. It's that sick, dude. It's that sick. And you try to say anything or do anything, and when you look at the powers that be and what they were motivated by, get the Karen, non-vaxxer bully, it was really scary what was going on and how they protected him. And you can go back and look at that, and some of these sick motherfuckers around here protecting him say, yeah, the little brat deserved it, it was just a whack. People need to wake the fuck up around here, and the fact that the state workers don't educate them to that. Well, and we're not allowed to. Yeah, privacy. Yeah, while they know what these sick fucks are doing. Yeah, Fred Wheeler, that landlord, 2008 and 9, we stayed in a few of his apartments in Waterville. Yet we left here, because remember we had been here. We had been seeing Dr. Raxlin and Dr. Mulliken for Lyme disease and going through that treatment. Very interesting stuff, yeah? Right, so there was a lot going on. We've been dealing with that, the main parent federation. That was fucking scary. Yeah, them not wanting to address any concerns with the vaccines or overprescribing of SSRIs and actually wanting to promote them. Yeah, calling us Nazis. We told them they were being Hitlerian, and that's just an opinion. And if you can't take that like an adult, and they use that to turn it into steam, they tell the others they called us Hitlers, and it gets other people going. They know it's bullshit and stupid and childish, but they know it'll get the fucking retards and medicated fucks that they have in these audiences going. And they get these audiences, like we just told you. If you go back and look, take a look. They blasted out those pictures 2012 to 2013. You'll notice some of those pictures. They're right there in the Dropbox, and you can go back and connect them to that time frame. Right, and then they get these audiences that they know they can get going when things arise. Very easily, it's not that hard. They do it all the time. And this is sick how many years it's gone on. Right in the areas where these institutes are. We were just talking about that the other day. It's interesting. The 3 major brain institutes in the world and how it's been well known for decades. Right. Harvard. Oh, okay. Right. It's so sick. Have they figured out string theory yet, though? I know, it's amazing. Huh? It isn't amazing? It's so incredible, too, to think of how a simple word or just a suggestive thought can completely change the course of someone's life. People are so fucking sick and disgusting. Talk about a broken, fucking nasty record of useless fucking jargon. And they get paid a lot of money. You sick fucks. Yeah, we got these druggies and nasty people going around. All the fraud and misspending. It's going to these stupid fucking studies and their rehab programs. Are you healing? What are you going to do now that you're all healed and a good person? You keep telling yourself that, you nasty fucking sick fucks. I'm so glad we had flies on the walls in those places. I know you think, did you scan it good? Did you scan it good? You fucking retards. Yeah, well, you know what you can't scan and you can't get rid of is the facts and the truth and your nasty fucking addictions and hobbies and thoughts. Oh, dear Lord. Anyways, I really hope that the proper authorities do what they're supposed to do to help these hostages and children. Did that help answer that question for you? Okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
We never accost the channel's viewers or supporters for super chats. We're just saying it as a line of saying, but if you do want to support the channel as part of that, we're very thankful and appreciative. But I always want people to know you're never under any sort of a demand or pressure to support the channel. We run this thing ad-free.
Oh yeah, actually him beating up his son in the tub is all documented. That mother had to take him to court and get full custody. Absolutely horrible. The officer showed me pictures. He came to the house on Easter of that year. Look it up. Was it around the same time there? Yeah. There you go. Connect the dots. La la la. Connect the dots. La 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 la. Yeah, she took him to court, got no contact. He was just a toddler. That was absolutely horrible. And the pictures that the officer showed me with black hand marks on his thigh area and scars on his neck. Yeah, just that alone, how fucking sick and disturbing this is, and how they have the children subdued because they see the anger and how it causes problems. Yeah, they don't get to go to town. They get their Roblox cards so they can stay online. So the state workers and other people can keep an eye on them. Right, also, too, thank goodness there's good forces, too. Right? You're just trying to keep them happy. And keep an eye on him and protect him from the dangerous care. I know, what's his name? Ashman Gold and all those people know all about this. We appreciate those things because there's good forces that are just, you know, playing games with them and, you know, really helping them not get too depressed, actually. And then you have the bad forces, right, Sweetie Pie? Right, remember some of those people, they would befriend him and then they'd be friends with him for like 6 or 7 months. And then all of a sudden they just tell him, right, it'd be something stupid in a game, like, you know, like you accidentally bump into them, picked up a piece of their meat. Like, I'm never talking to you again. And it's like someone he's been talking to and like for quite a while, right? And then all of a sudden, yeah, it's a common thing they do with these kids. We were telling people that. And then look at the school shootings and these kids committing suicide. Yeah, they're ignoring it all, medicating them. They need to be medicated and stable, and it wouldn't happen. Yeah, they're sick. You people are fucking sick, and they know it. And they know it. And they know they're tricking you, and that you're just stupid monkeys, and that they pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes, and they're very well set. Yeah, we've pointed them out for you. You should probably take them out. Yeah, no, they deserve the death penalty. What they've done? Yeah, no, those are fucking war crimes at its finest. Threats to national security. Not just to society, right? Wow. Yeah, no, so yeah, they should be thrown in jail, in like a dark dungeon for years, and then killed. Death penalty. Like we do with others who have done far less. You got a problem with that? Yeah, I mean, can't do it. I mean, that's what we're telling people. They get away with it all the time. There's a lot of me's, and we're dead and watching from the great beyond, and we really hope that the government and the public, which I believe are the same entities, do the right thing, and people start speaking the truth and addressing these things. Absolutely disgusting, beside ourselves, appalled, totally appalled. Yes, you're welcome. Let us know. Let us know if you need anything else right here. Can't buy me love. Everybody tells me so. Can't buy me love. No, no, no. Can sure cushion the blows though, can it? Right, like speeding tickets. Yeah, these people are literally committing some of the worst crimes and just paying the tickets. Yeah, this isn't legal courts. Yeah, these are the street courts. They don't play by those rules, so neither do we. But there's one difference between us and them. There's one thing they do that we wouldn't do. People to understand that. How sad that so many don't, or just don't want to, because they know it exposes their sick fucking friends and activist partners and managers and fans and people buying nasty fucking shit from them that they can get better. They can get better things at Walmart. Just saying. Yeah, anything. Give me one product they're promoting to you and I can show you way better options and suggestions that are way cheaper. Yeah, they're doing the same thing to you Big Pharma's doing, and then they sit there, Big Pharma, pedal producers, they're gonna make you eat maggots, oh, they're suing me, Sandy Hook. You motherfuckers, you really need help. You're sick fucking nasty motherfuckers, and what you do to your own children is fucking disgusting. Yeah, you can pick your own nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose? Huh? Code you guys live by, you sick fucking nasty motherfuckers. The proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine need to help these children. We're at the Governor Hill Mansion. My name is Mary. Sick motherfucker next door with my children. We're in the same building. I say next door because I mean it's through the wall. It's literally if I walk out my bedroom door here, take 5 paces to the left, I'm at their door. And what's been going on here for years needs to be addressed and reported to the public. I can't believe how many of you people have been promoting the most dangerous things and attacking innocent citizens who have already struggled enough. You sick, fucking, nasty Americans. Hey, why don't you fucking pull your pants up? Pull that fucking dental floss out of your ass. Wash some of that glue out of your eyes. And report the fucking facts. Putin! China! You fucking nasty pieces of shit. Who the fuck do you think you are? Proper authorities need to address this, Augusta, Maine. Much love, health, and peace to you all.